A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move that has sent shockwaves through international trade relations, President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday, doubling tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to a staggering 50%. This decision, which took effect immediately, has drawn sharp criticism from key allies, including Canada and Mexico, while simultaneously receiving praise from U.S. steelworkers. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney expressed his discontent, labeling the tariffs as unlawful and unjustified, highlighting the strain this decision places on the already fragile relations between the U.S. and its northern neighbor. Meanwhile, U.S. steelworkers have welcomed the tariffs, viewing them as a necessary step to bolster the domestic steel industry. However, the implications of this decision extend far beyond the borders of the United States. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, has already adjusted its global growth forecast, attributing the downgrade to Trump's aggressive trade policies. OECD chief economist Alvaro Pereira warned that the U.S. economy would face significant repercussions as a result of these tariffs, which have disrupted trade, consumption, and investment patterns globally. The timing of this tariff increase coincides with a ministerial meeting of OECD members, where discussions regarding the potential impacts of such trade barriers were expected to take center stage. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer was scheduled to meet with European Union Trade Commissioner Maros Sefcovic and UK Trade Secretary Jonathan Reynolds in a bid to negotiate terms that could mitigate the impact of the tariffs on their respective nations. Despite the doubling of tariffs, imports from the UK will remain at 25% for the time being, as both countries work to navigate the complexities of their recently established trade pact. However, the EU has issued a stern warning, stating that it strongly regrets the increase in tariffs and is prepared to retaliate if necessary. Canada, being the largest supplier of steel and aluminum to the U.S., has taken a particularly hard stance against the tariffs, calling them illegal and unjustified. The Canadian government is likely to seek exemptions or retaliatory measures in response to this latest development. Mexico's Economy Minister Marcelo Ebrard also voiced concerns, arguing that it is unfair to impose tariffs on a product where the U.S. maintains a trade surplus. He emphasized that 80% of Mexico's exports go to the U.S., making the country particularly vulnerable to the fallout from Trump's trade wars. As tensions rise, the group of 7 advanced economies are set to hold separate talks on trade, with leaders expressing urgency in finding negotiated solutions to avoid further escalation. German Economy Minister Katrina Reich emphasized the need for swift action, stating, "We need to come up with negotiated solutions as quickly as possible, because time is running out." The situation is further complicated by ongoing trade disputes with China, where Trump has imposed tariffs as high as 145% on Chinese imports, leading to retaliatory measures from Beijing. Although there was a temporary de-escalation in May, Trump has accused China of violating agreements, raising questions about the stability of future negotiations. In a recent post on his Truth Social platform, Trump remarked on the difficulty of striking a deal with Chinese President Xi Jinping, stating, "I like President Xi of China, always have, and always will, but he is very tough and extremely hard to make a deal with." As the dust settles on this latest tariff increase, the global economic landscape is left in a state of uncertainty. With mounting pressure from trading partners and the potential for retaliatory measures, the implications of Trump's decision may reverberate far beyond the steel and aluminum industries. As negotiations continue and tensions escalate, the world watches closely to see how this trade war will unfold and what it means for the future of international trade relations. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.